All right, let's do it. We're going to talk about some security news. Who heard about the NPM worm? Everybody! Yeah. Uh, Obviously, massive worm. I was forced to make a video about it. Socket's so far the best blog on this topic. I actually have the founder of Socket. I'm going to try to talk to him on camera for you guys. Maybe throw it on YouTube. We couldn't make it work today. I was going to try to make it work today, but I'm going to make it work later in the week. What's up, Ron? So this is the most up to date blog that I've seen on this topic. So is this is the 41, not this one. This one, which I think was like, I think they had CrowdStrike in the title at some point, and it's like, it's not actually like the main point of the story. And CrowdStrike doesn't seem too impacted by it, but this one's obviously pretty gnarly. We're up to nearly 700 public repos with this like Dune reference in it. They've got a good timeline here. This timeline wasn't in the blog when I made my video yesterday about it. Killing time before a meeting in 4 minutes. Man, I've had meetings all week. So today was more of a content day for me. So I'm going to hang on for a little while. You ever deal with the play ransomware? No, thankfully. Yeah, this timeline wasn't here when I made my video. Let me move my camera around so I'm not like looking off to the side the whole time. What's up, Mia? Sorry, my second monitor setup is currently a little bit weird. So this timeline is super helpful, right? Because they talk about like bursts of compromises from this worm going through NPM. Which is pretty nuts. What's up, Hans? So you see small burst. So what I haven't like actually internalized, because there's been so many different NPM compromises over the last couple of weeks, is like which one was which, and like when this one started, like what was patient 0 for the worm. What's up? Thanks for the gift. So like obviously over the last couple of weeks, there's been this major phishing campaign going on against people who were maintainers of these NPM packages. But then none of those were like worming. It was like each maintainer who fell for the phishing campaign was getting compromised. Then all of a sudden, something changed and someone got compromised, and that compromise turned into a worm, which is just insane. I've got the Sonic Wall story up in another tab. Yeah, it's always something. You're getting your bachelor's in cybersecurity, kind of nervous. Don't be nervous. Enjoy university. It is a good time. Don't take it too seriously. Have fun. Learn stuff. So what I haven't figured out on this wormable campaign was what was patient 0 for the worm, because it wasn't the phishing campaign that happened last week, right? So the first observed compromise, I guess, is these couple of packages. So maybe some maintainer, some NPM maintainer that maintains all of these packages got compromised. This RXNT bit. Okay. I haven't like figured this out. Then there was a burst. Then there was the first large burst out of the worm, 25 plus packages and or versions. Then an hour later, 17 more. This was the 14th. And so that was 3 days ago. 2 days ago, man, Socket has done a great timeline of this worm. So now we're up to 100 packages. Then yesterday we hit the CrowdStrike batch, largest single burst, nearly 100 packages in one burst. So they probably caught a whale at that point in terms of an NPM package maintainer, right? Hey, Matt, what are we talking about? We're talking about this NPM worm thing. I don't know if you guys saw my video on it already. I made like a long video on it. bunch of people starting their cyber degrees. Any tips? Just like lean into everything that your school has to offer. Not just classes, not just the degree. What else do they got to offer? Everyone's got more to offer. I've been thinking about majoring in computer science. Do you think it's worth it? Worth it for what? For who? I majored in computer science. It was awesome. Worth it for life? Yeah, sure. Lots of majors are worth it, though. It just depends what you want to do. Why do all these worms look like butts? So yeah, you can like go search this name on GitHub right now and see how many results pop up, and it just keeps on growing. So this is what we're talking about. I was reading the Socket's got like this timeline about it. I hadn't gone through the timeline. The timeline wasn't there when I made the video yesterday, which is a bummer. It would have been cool to include this in my YouTube video. But I am trying to get the founder of Socket on camera to talk to me for a little bit. So hopefully tomorrow. We couldn't make today happen. What would happen if people were still running Win 10 after the end of support next month? End of support means end of updates, including security updates. So any vulnerabilities that are identified in Windows 10 after that point would stop receiving updates. You've heard the job market is terrible. I don't know if that's true. The job market's hard, like, period. Mia looking at your page, very interesting content. Thank you. Job market's just hard right now, man. I mean, it's just, we're in like a really weird economic time. Like everyone's kind of holding their breath. I wouldn't say like the job market's terrible. Don't go get your computer science degree. You know, the job market was really bad in 2008. You think a bunch of people said, hey, don't go get your computer science degree. No one's hiring programmers right now because the housing market crashed. You know, job markets get weird. It's a thing. So the other part that has updated since I made my video on this story is this version. So the threat actor created 7 different versions of the worm, which we know because the worm has no ability to edit itself. Right. So this is super interesting, right? Because they're not actually compromising the devices, right? Like the dev's devices, first of all. Second of all, well, they're not like, they don't have like remote code execution, right? So I guess they are kind of compromising it because they're able to search through their development environment for secrets. But it can't edit code. It can't edit itself. The code is out there on GitHub, so we can all just like watch this worm morph into different things, right? So we can see every time the creator and maintainer of this worm is like changing it, because then once that version goes out, that's it. That version's out there. It doesn't overwrite any of the past compromises type stuff, right? Major security risk running Windows 10 after end of support. Yeah, I mean, for sure. Soon thereafter, there will be known vulnerabilities that won't get patches, most likely, right? OSCP or CPTS. SecX. You got to give me more. For what? For what's your goal? I need a t-shirt that says no certs. I get a lot of questions about certs, but I will answer them. You just got to give me more context. What's up, Roman the goat? How you doing? We're talking worms. So, Socket updated this blog since I made my YouTube video. So I'm trying to like play catch up on all the new information that's in here. I mean, it seems like these different versions. Version 4, the tool attempts to iterate up to 20 packages of a single maintainer instead of 10 in one pass. Okay. That's a significant update. Version 5, check to see if the repo already exists. It was already running into itself. So the worm was so successful that the threat actor had to see if the worm code already existed in this repo. Now the repo is always created as long as the token is authenticated. This likely handles any race conditions that may occur if multiple infected hosts run version 4 concurrently. Version 5 likely improves the yield, removes one less API call, reducing obvious reconnaissance fingerprints. All right, super interesting. Roman, bruh, what? Thoughts on WGU degree? Is it better to go traditional or go in person? I don't have anything I don't have any insider knowledge about WGU. Their marketing kind of bothers me about like accelerated online programs. Seems a little degree farm on the marketing, but I got tons of people that come and chat that go to WGU. Like, do you? How are you able to land your first job? Networking, like social networking, meeting people, going to conferences. I met people and got them to hire me. Thoughts on black hat work, or is that too taboo? What do you mean thoughts on black hat work? You mean criminal activity? You mean criminal activity? The shirt is super fly, right? Boom. It's my buddy Sean from Miscreants. I bought this at DEF CON. Ugh. Pretty awesome, right? Working for the dark side. Would you call it working? Would you call it working? Got to clock in. Got to clock in at the scam farm. Got to clock in. I have plenty of thoughts. What are you asking? I'll talk about it. It's not taboo. Are GX certs overrated? All certs are overrated. All certs are overrated. Don't get certs. Just learn stuff, meet people, do things. If you like certs, go ahead, get certs. Don't listen to the guy in the little box on your screen. But a lot of people mistake what WGU is at your own pace, not just free, easy degree from. I didn't know. I knew it wasn't free or easy. Sure, at your own pace. I don't know. The marketing is like, get your bachelor's and 16 certs as fast as humanly possible. I don't know. The marketing bothers me. Like I said, I don't know anything about the content, the teachers. I have no idea. But like me as a hiring manager looking at it, would I be like, ooh, no. This list is just grows and grows and grows. So these are all the compromised NPM packages. I just scrolled forever. I think we were at an even 500 the last time I looked. Yep. 500 even. All right. This worm is nuts. Has Ricardo, a bunch of blogs. Of course, there's a bunch of companies that like help with this kind of attack. So they're all talking about it nonstop. I like Socket. I like the Socket team. So I'm trying to get Faraz, the founder and CEO, wants to do a video with me. So we're going to try to talk tomorrow. So maybe I can get that out for tomorrow or Friday. Could call it a pursuit to financial freedom instead of working. If your goal is freedom, I would not recommend crime. Advice for a senior in university working help desk at local CC, wanting to get into cyber. I worked at the help desk at my university as like a good first learn to be a good employee and tech stuff things. Just learn as much. Cybersecurity is like a really, really big word, right? Pick what you actually want to do in cybersecurity. You want to like hack things all day. You want to like code. You want to do cloud security. You want to like help with policies. You want to help with like user access. Lots of different ways you could spend your day in cybersecurity. Figure out what that is and then run really hard and deep at that thing, phrasing, and learn everything you can about it. And then go out in the world and meet as many people as you can. You can do all these things at the same time. A company is Frankensteining 3 SIMs and are not fully integrated. Thoughts? Bad idea. Go look up there's a blog. Let me see if I can pull it up. I used to work at Reddit. For those of you who are new here, Reddit has a subreddit called Reddit Eng. That's like the tech team's subreddit, like the team at Reddit's subreddit. And they put out, here we go. They put out a post after I left, and this wasn't like, I can't like take credit over this or anything. How do I minimize this? There you go. Whoa, I lost chat and Streamlabs because of that. Go find this post on Reddit Eng. All right, get out of here. I collapsed it. On r/Reddit Eng, there's this post about de-splunkifying our SIM. This is like a very detailed post of like a years-long project. So I helped a little bit with it while I was there. This was not my team. Like my specific team that I ran didn't run this project. But we were a very small team, so security was a very small org, so we all kind of helped with each other. Anyway, this talks a lot about like Reddit's approach to SIM, and we thought a lot about this, and it's kind of new and interesting. So you can check out that post if you want. I'm behind on chat. I'm behind. I ask what stops professionals from using their talents for the black hat aside from moral responsibility. Oh, super easy. Jail. Jail. Jail, jail, jail. Jail, 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 jail. I like living where I live, and if I wanted to go all dark side, I would probably have to move to a non-extradition country. What do you think about my Microsoft 365 Copilot? I don't have good things to say, but that's just like hearsay. I haven't actually gotten like hands on it. I don't work at a like Microsoft shop currently. I used to. Anyone know a good website to practice coding or a sophomore in college? Yo, chat. Anyone? I don't know offhand. There's like a bunch of like coding labs things. Oh, Roman already got you. Free code camp. Just graduated high school. In your opinion, is it still worth getting 4 years for cyber? Yeah. If you just graduated high school, absolutely go to college. Go live on campus. Let your frontal cortex form. Live in like the last walkable community you'll ever live in if you're in the U.S. Avoid adult responsibilities and taxes and all that crap until later. Go figure out who you are. Make friends for life. My college was the best. Still, some of my best friends and relationships in my life are from university. And then, yes, of course, the bachelor's is super worth it for your career. Like 100%. A lot of people that I know, you don't need it. A lot of people I know don't have it. And then on the other hand, I know a lot of people that have like gone back to get it because it was like a thing that was hindering them throughout their career, and they were like awesome otherwise. Go check out volnew.com, my newsletter. I just did an interview with Trey Ford, CISO at BugCrowd, and that's like one of his biggest regrets is like how long he put off education. So it's like a different perspective for you. Hey man, quick question. Do you think QA is a good career path? Or is it getting nuked soon? No, I don't think anything's getting nuked soon. QA is a good career path if you enjoy QA. I would not like QA because that's not how I would like to spend my time or day. Roman, wow, is a very detailed read up on that. Yeah, it was a really good post. How will AI redefine the cybersecurity industry? Heard it will create new industry, LLM prompt security. How do you see the future? Yeah, I kind of like to say like humans to the power of AI. I'm not big on the whole like AI won't take your job, but like a human who knows how to do AI is going to take your job. That's not really my take on it. My take on it is just like there is going to be this new wave of companies and teams that can embrace the things that AI are good at, not like all the marketing sizzle of like all the little startups that are like, we are entirely AI and like you don't need any humans for it. That's like a lot of it's like figuring out what's marketing versus what's actually useful and good. So I think for security, yeah, I mean, just as in all parts of tech, AI is very good at language stuff, documentation, policies are all going to get, that's all going to get really interesting, like interpreting policies, writing policies. Not like that was all like, it's not like every policy that's ever been written in the last 5 years was like fresh off the dome, human, certified organic policy. You know, a lot of that crap's copy and pasted boilerplate stuff anyway, right? So, but yeah, I mean, go look up. I did a video about Daniel Miessler's blog post about what he's worried about AI and the economy and the industry, not just cybersecurity. That goes through a lot of his thoughts I agree with, his thoughts I disagree with, all that kind of stuff. My audio is choppy. Why? I don't know, man. Hey, YouTube, is my audio choppy? TikTok thinks my audio is choppy. Let's like touch. Let's touch mic knobs and buttons. I don't know. It could be internet connection is sometimes a little weird at my office. Sorry. Is it just like super choppy forever, or is it just kind of in and out choppy? I don't know. I might have to like. Audio on YouTube is choppy as well. Mother. Might be internet. Might be Streamlabs. I don't know what to do about it. Let's see if I like fuck with my mic settings. If I like add a filter or something like that. About that. Damn. That sucks. Yeah, I don't know what to do about it. Let me know if it stops. Otherwise, I can absolutely restart the stream. I'm just going to give it a second. Let's do like a little. That sucks. Well, that ruins everything, doesn't it? I don't know what to do about it. It was fine for a while, right? I don't have noise cancellation. I don't have anything. I tried to throw something on. I was like, oh, let me throw a filter on to see if that would help. No, I don't have a noise gate. Sounds like a codec? Jesus Christ. Sounds like a codec is struggling, is what someone says. Damn. All right, I'm gonna restart. You guys let me know if it stays this way. All right. I don't know. We're gonna see if my mic worked or if my audio worked. Did bumping it work, everybody? Or does my audio still suck? Way better? That's so freaking stupid. All right, thanks. I don't know. I didn't do anything. I promise I didn't do anything. That's super stupid. I'm gonna blame Streamlabs. Streamlabs has been kind of not the best piece of software for me to mess with. Sorry if chat might have restarted in YouTube. In YouTube chat, looks like there's a conversation going on that I wasn't part of. Now, if I saw a junior applicant with SCE, that would be interesting. I think I'm coming in mid-conversation there. Your company won't listen to you about the NPM stuff. What won't they listen to you about? NPM is a minefield right now. Minefield. Roman, what up? Sound better? Fixie. Turn it off and on again. Fixied. What do you mean your company won't listen about the NPM stuff? Nope, it's not better? Damn. Someone said it was better. I asked if we can review dependencies to see if we were affected, and they aren't taking it seriously. What? Still bad. It's probably Streamlabs. That's weird that it would happen like mid-stream. Like I've changed nothing. That's super weird that like mid-stream audio would take a crap. Restarting it didn't work. It's obviously not my internet connection. I've even changed which Wi-Fi network I'm streaming from. Ugh. Chopped cheese audio. That sucks. I was going to stream for another hour. What the fuck am I supposed to do about this? It's still a bit jittery. We can make things out. It's fine. It kind of sucks, though. It's going to ruin the VOD, too. You sent them my LinkedIn article? Yeah, I mean, send them this socket. This socket article has like 500 things you got to go check the freaking version numbers of. Here, look. Send them this little, like, what the hell are we supposed to do about it section of it. Wait. Wrong. It's at the top of the list, not at the bottom of the list. Here you go. This is what you got to do. Absolutely need to do. Continue streaming. I'm audible. All right. Dang, homies. Only 500 versions. That's a day that ends in Y and NPM. I don't think in terms of literally one bit of malware. No, this has never happened. One bit of malware infecting 500 things has definitely never happened. Yeah, I think I saw Socket say they see around 1,000, attempted supply chain type things a day. But how many companies do you think will be affected realistically? It's not like the real risk right now is like if you do download one of these packages, they are grabbing these things, right? So it's really developers. They're going after developers. So if developers catch, one of these packages that has malware in it, the malware is going to immediately search their environment for these secrets, right? And then how it's a worm is one of the secrets it goes after is NPM tokens. So it's like, oh, you're a developer. I'm going to use your NPM tokens to, push my code up to whatever packages that you have. So that's the big concern. Yeah, this is on Socket's site. My YouTube, this link is in my YouTube video. So if you sent my LinkedIn post that had my YouTube video, the link to this article is in the YouTube video. But I mean, you could also just Google what we're looking at right here. How freaking funny though. So I was doing this, like I was explaining basically what a worm is. And so of course I had to bring up the Sammy worm, which was funny enough, was also a JavaScript based worm. Who remembers this? I know I'm the oldest one in the room, but like, this was a MySpace worm. MySpace was like hilarious because for those of you youngins who never got to experience the MySpace peak in like 2004, 2005, you could update your profile and include code on your profile. So a lot of people, this is how they learn like beginner HTML, right? Was like by messing around with their MySpace profile. You could like change the background, change the color. You could like, put a song. If someone like hopped on your MySpace profile, you could include HTML somewhere that would start playing a song. Marquee tags. I mean, this is like all sorts of people writing HTML into their MySpace profile. And so all Sammy did, by the way, Sammy Kamkar is awesome. I've met him. We got very drunk at a bar in LA together. Obliterated. Yeah, one of the crazier nights of my life with Sammy. He's a great dude. He's brilliant. He's still putting out awesome research. But like all he did was put HTML that ran some JavaScript. It was just cross-site scripting, but like with literally no crazy like tactic, right? Just JavaScript eval, document.all expression. I mean, he was evading some cross-site scripting thing here, right? And then what this did was say, but most of all, Sammy is my hero, into the person's like, there was like a heroes section, like on your MySpace profile. There was like a, who are your heroes? So he put, but most of all, Sammy's my hero. And then this code. So he put his own code onto that profile. And so it wormed, it took down MySpace in a few hours. How effing funny though, that on the Wikipedia page, it says this. Can you guys read it? MySpace has since secured its site against the vulnerability. Whew! Boy, I was worried that I was worried that MySpace was still vulnerable. Listen, I check my MySpace profile every day, and I was sweating that it might still be vulnerable to the cross-site scripting Sammy worm. What's going on with chat? I've been in security a long time, had Cisco certs, CISP, OSP, maybe some others. Yeah, MySpace made me interested in HTML. Dude, a lot of people. Holy moly, heard CSP is hard. Are you a CISO? You're a wizard. I think, are you trolling? You must be trolling. Just FYI, audio has been perfect a bit now. Oh, cool. Audio fixed itself. I'm going internet then. I had a weird internet thing happen. Roman, your peak. Vine, you're valid. Yeah, you're valid. Vine was peak. What certifications you recommend? None. Could use your insights. System of a Down. Is that actually you? Is that actually you, System? I love you. I've seen System of a Down live a number of times. Wouldn't it be cool if they showed up? All right. Who saw this one? Boop, boop, boop. I'm trying to like zoom in for you guys because I know the screen is small. 224 Android malware apps behind a massive ad fraud campaign. So ads are bad, right? We've all kind of come to the conclusion that ads are bad, right? Think PMP is worth it if you already have your CSP. Is that the project management thing? No, I don't think that's worth it. SOC analyst, 3 years doing programming, majoring CS. Sweet. How can I work towards sec DevOps? Do more like cloud container, Kubernetes stuff. Look into like site reliability engineering content. Am I going to take down... What's up, Stack Secure? I haven't seen you live in a bit. Am I going to take down the worm? Dun, 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 dun. No, I'm not going to take it down. I'm going to make a bunch of content about it, though. How you hanging? Roman, hey Papa. Roman's all of our nephew. So Android malware ring, 224 apps removed. So you never see this in Apple Store, by the way, that this many freaking malware apps were on the damn Play Store is insane. All right. Ad fraud campaign dubbed slop ads disrupted after 224 malicious applications on the Google Play Store. So this isn't even side-loaded, right? So like a lot of times I'm talking about Android malware, they're side-loaded. It's like, you know, someone social engineers someone to like, hey, we're the government. This is our new app. Instead of the DMV, install this app, right? And like, okay, got it. That's why some Android malware is a little crazier, right? But this is 224 malicious apps on the Google Play Store. This is not even side-loaded, which is just insane. Used to generate 2.3 billion ad requests today. So this is just ad fraud, right? So if you guys don't know, ads pay per click. So this is someone juicing to the degree of 2.3 billion different clicks on ads. Just absolute fraud, right? So that means someone is paying for an ad that got a bunch of fake clicks, literally billions of clicks. Probably a group of someone's, right? Reported the app was downloaded over 38 million times. 38 million downloads on 224 malicious apps. So a lot of times what these apps are is they're actually useful. They actually do what they say they do. They just also are malicious, right? Which is kind of the gnarly one. So these are some of the fake apps. It's just called ChatGPT. The fact that you could upload this to Google Play Store right now is just insane. It's just how did this get up? Like, is there literally zero review? How did an app called ChatGPT with their logo get approved and published? So yeah, a lot of these are stupid. So the ad fraud contained multiple levels of evasion tactics to avoid being detected by Google's app review. If the user installed a slop ad app organically through the Play Store without coming from one of the campaign ads, it would act as a normal app, performing the advertised functionality as normal. I mean, yes, and right? Like, that's what I said, is a lot of times these apps will actually do what they say they're, yeah, an app called JSON. Do you know how to use JSON? Yeah, it's an app on my phone. Oh, you are owned. So like, yeah, a lot of times these apps will like do something useful. I saw like some sort of PDF reader one or whatever it was, but like ChatGPT. So like if someone legitimately downloaded this, does it act like ChatGPT? Is it like a fake wrapper? Like if so, I mean, sure, I guess it is performing the advertised functionality, but it's like obviously shady as hell. Why is Jay letting his son do that? Oh, Jason, no. Okay, so that's like if they got the person to just install it naturally through the Play Store. What I'm guessing the 1-2 punch here is they were running ads to get people to install their malicious apps, right? So retrieve slop ads associated app, retrieves the malware config. So then the app turns into malware, does what it says it's supposed to do, then turns into malware. Was the app downloaded from the threat actor ad campaign? No, then do nothing. Just do the advertised thing. Yes, contact C2, collect and transmit device and browser information, usually cookies. And then does the device meet additional conditions? No, do nothing else. Just steal some browser information. If yes, do fraud. I love flowcharts. What up, Seeknay? Did you go to DEF CON this year? Yes. I haven't got this t-shirt to prove it. Is my mic in the way? DEF CON 33 with the hackers. Yeah, I went to DEF CON. It was awesome. However, so what I want to figure out is what are the additional conditions and what was the fraud that these things were doing. So the app would determine if it's installed by a legitimate user's device rather than being analyzed by a researcher or security software. A lot of malware does that these days. It downloads PNG images and uses steganography to conceal pieces of a malicious APK. Guys, when was the last time we saw steganography used for C2? Do fraud, yeah. Literally, the flow the flow chart. Can you guys see the flow chart? Does the device meet additional conditions? Yes. Do fraud. Do fraud. Just do some fraud. I want to figure out what those conditions were and what the fraud was. So steganography to conceal pieces of the command and control is super interesting. Texture 0, texture 1, texture 2, texture 3. So there's commands hidden in here for the malware. Which is kind of nice. That's kind of cool. The images were decrypted, reassembled on the device to form complete FAT module malware. It would use hidden web views to gather device and browser information and then navigate to ad fraud cache out domains controlled by the attackers. The domains impersonated game and news sites serving ads continuously through a hidden web view screens to generate over 2 billion fraudulent ad impressions that clicks per day, creating revenue for the attackers. Insane. Human says the campaign infrastructure included numerous command and control servers. Oh, it doesn't tell us. Well, maybe Human's report does. Hold on, let me find the actual report. Read time 12 minutes. Challenge accepted. I want to see. Yeah, steganography. Information collected. Yeah, this is what so the device information. So the web view stuff, got it. Wait. Included one final pre-fraud check. This one for the presence of an emulator. Oh. It was checking. That wasn't clear in the article. This is checking if it's a legitimate user's device before sending to ad fraud. Just making sure that it's not in an emulator or in like a security researcher's VM or whatever. So is this kind of crap? This is an ad. Clap to find your phone. Insane. Insane. Gnarly one. Who's been watching this disaster? Let me catch up on chat. How can I get started on my education in CB while in high school? What's CB? My answer is going to be like YouTube and stuff. Just like go down rabbit holes. Your FJ. Fake ad clicks going to ruin the ad industry. Yeah. CTI with Jay. What's up? Been a minute. How you doing? CB is cybersecurity. I don't know. I didn't understand that. In cybersecurity, yeah, I mean, just tons and tons and tons of free resources. Congrats for knowing that you're interested in high school. That's super cool. 3.1 billion Discord logs released. Yeah, I saw that. It's a public scrape, though, right? It's a public scrape. It's like Discord didn't get hacked, right? Discord, 3.1 billion. Discord. I can't find the story. Let me know if you know where a good spot to read that story is, and I'll pull it up. What I was reading about it, it was like someone just built a giant scraper about Discord, right? You're saying no? Wait a second. Screenshots look like admin access of some kind. Safety monitoring panel. Wait a second. That's significantly more interesting. Jay, who's written about it? It's not in my feeds yet. Or are you just seeing the screenshots? No one's written about it yet. I'm about to cancel my plans and write this news article first. for volnew.com. It's on dark forums right now. All right. I don't have time between now and when I got to go to like actually verify that. No, it's not covered yet. Damn. I wish I heard this earlier. I would have stopped what I was doing. Would have been cool to write about that first. There's screenshots on X. I saw that, and that's what I saw. I saw the conversation on X, and I thought the convo was someone scraped public stuff. The top left corner. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I was looking at the wrong screenshot. Maybe I'm looking at different screenshots as you. I can try to find it. That's a big story. If Discord admin actually got hacked. Yeah, giant all caps if you Google Discord hack. Not Google, Twitter search. This is misinformation. Discord did not get hacked. OG poster on Breach forums mentions the posts were scraped. But what you're saying, yeah, everyone's saying it was just scraped. Breach forums, let me scroll in. So you're saying in the top left corner of this, what are you seeing? One hell of a scraper panel if it's not admin panel. What's the top left corner? I see preview user information. Link hidden content, messages. What screenshot? Man, everyone on Twitter says it's a public scrape. $2.1 billion. That's nuts. I'll keep an eye on that one. Those breach forums posts are like so much noise to signal. So I usually if I see a breach forums thing, like my ears don't even perk up until someone else says something. Jay, what are you seeing in the top left corner that I'm not seeing? Let me know. Have you guys been watching this freaking... Oh, you're reading it on a different one. You're probably looking at a different screenshot than I'm seeing on Twitter. Who's watching this hearing? Cash Patel. Could you imagine being this person, first of all? My anxiety could never. Do you see this? Could you imagine being this guy right now? When all these cameras are pointed at you? No. No, thank you. But apparently they were talking cyber stuff. I've had a few DMs of people like worried who are watching this more closely. And they're like super worried about law enforcement using a lot of this stuff to ask for backdoors and do encryption, which I agree. I've made a lot of content about that. And then obviously, you know, cuts to the Bureau's cyber division, cut personnel by half, despite the ever increasing threat, was a question that was going on. Trump administration proposed a $500 million cut for the FBI. I don't have anything like intelligent to say about the FBI's budget. It would certainly be disheartening if the FBI cyber division got cut in half. I understand layoffs and tightening belts and all this kind of stuff. I understand that you got to do stuff by half. There's no way that I think that the FBI cyber division is twice the size that it should be. I don't know. This article was on Cyberscoop. But I will be writing my newsletter tomorrow. You can find link in bio. If you want to get all the links that I pull up on screen, generally if they're stuff that I'm talking about this week, I usually throw it in my newsletter. I also put a lot of stuff in my newsletter that I don't make videos about. So check that out. You sent me something on LinkedIn? I didn't know we were connected on LinkedIn. Yeah, we are. I see. I see the picture you sent me. Yeah, it's the same picture I was looking at. What do you see in the top left? The logs available from 35 million users, the 2.1 billion. Oh, I don't know. I don't know anything about this being just a scraper. This was just like a public profile thing or whatever, right? I don't know. I don't know much about Discord scraping. Looks like safety admin portal to me. Gotcha. You could be wrong. Yeah. I don't know enough about Discord to like understand that screen, but like everyone on Twitter is screaming that that's public information. So I don't know. We'll see. Who saw this one? This was super cool. So it's been super interesting to watch all of the heads of the different AI companies start to come out and be like, hey, so the thing that we made, super dangerous, by the way, could be used in weird and nefarious ways. That's just like been Sam's tone for a while. Anthropic just put out their like threat intelligence report, which like kudos. I really like the report. I really like the transparency, but it's just kind of weird to like see this like tone of, we put out this super dangerous thing. Let's opine about how dangerous it is. It's like, hey, that's your Pandora's box that you opened, that you're like looking at and going, whoa, isn't it weird that I just opened this box and it's super scary and dangerous? Like, yeah, Sam. Did you guys see the ChatGPT safety thing that he put out yesterday? I can pull that up too. Boom. Teen safety. Here, let me pull this on screen. Man, I need a different streaming setup. I do not have enough monitor space. Who saw this one? Did you guys read this yesterday? This is like Sam's. He wrote on Twitter like, "Hey, not everyone's going to be happy about the decisions that we had to do to like balance using this kind of crap." I saw something about ChatGPT wanting to require ID. So I didn't see them about wanting to require ID. Well, hold on, because basically the gist of what Sam was getting at least on Twitter, was that there should be a different experience for adult users of ChatGPT and teen users of ChatGPT. And he says teen because the like terms of service is no one under 13 should be using ChatGPT to begin with, right? So there's like this 13 to 18 and then 18 plus. And he kind of is like, hey, is there, an issue with like ChatGPT being flirty? Like, yeah, it shouldn't do that by default and like mess with people. But like, should an adult be able to say like, hey, please respond more flirty to me, and it should do that? And he says yes, right? That like an adult should be able to decide how to use the software. It was kind of the gist. It was very like libertarian of him, right? To be like, let adults be adults and use ChatGPT how they can use ChatGPT within the realm of safety, right? He was like, oh, we'll do all sorts of other stuff. Hold on, is it in here? So yeah, within the realms of safety. So it's like, we're developing advanced security features to ensure your data is private, even from OpenAI employees. This is super important, right? Because like the other bit here is like, can they respond to subpoenas? Can like my ChatGPT chats wind up in court, right? So like right now, yes, 100% yes. And I think most likely forever, right? Your Google searches show up in court. Little like, of course, like almost certainly, yeah. Like we're going to see this forever. Sorry, I keep forgetting to zoom in for TikTok. But like privilege in other categories, there will be certain exceptions. For example, automated systems, and he makes sure to call out automated systems will monitor for potential serious misuse, meaning humans aren't reading your chats. Some robot will read your chats to flag for potential serious misuse, threats, plans to harm others, societal scale harm, massive cybersecurity incident. Maybe then a human's going to have to read your chats, right? Maybe then. OpenAI is getting sued by New York Times as well, so they have to retain all the data forever. Oh, I made a YouTube video about that. I said New York Times is like nuking OpenAI's privacy. I think OpenAI is going to win that one. Yeah, they're basically saying they can't even delete your stuff, even if you request them to delete it. They're like, hey, by nature of this court order, we are now out of compliance with many other state and foreign country. We don't have any federal privacy regulation here. Why would we? Why would the U.S. have federal privacy regulation in 2020 freaking 5? But huge contradiction from Sam that they want to have privacy, but if a flag goes off, we're reading all your messages. 100%, Matt. 100%. 100%, right? I don't pretend to have the answer here, right? Like the Signal app, for example, end-to-end encrypted. Signal could never, regardless of what three-letter agency came down their pipe, Signal could never read your messages, right? This is the same thing going on with Tor today. Did you see the Tor thing? Some guy, the FBI wanted to force some guy who ran a Tor exit node to decrypt his exit node. Pegasus can. Pegasus can't read your Signal messages from Signal. It's end-to-end encrypted. Pegasus can own your phone, and then you're screwed, right? But like the NSA can't go, the FBI can't go to Signal and be like, "Yo, we need to wiretap this person." Signal will just be like, no, we don't have any ability to do that, right? So that's like one far end of the spectrum, right? Then the other end of the spectrum is like Google. Any website anything you type into Google is infinitely searchable by Google. It is actively searched and read by Google to advertise to you better, and freely given over to law enforcement all the time, routinely, right? It's like every criminal you hear getting arrested is like, they recently searched for how to do the crime they just got invested for. It's just like, stupid criminals, right? I saw one article recently even troll the criminal and be like, he used a VPN in hopes that it would hide his search history. It's like, that is not what a VPN would do. Like Google can still see it. You're still connected to Google. You heard an APT into Google's law enforcement. Yeah, I've got that open. Where is that? Hold on. Man, I had that open, but it was a really bad article by the Register. The Register is hit or miss for me. I kind of like them sometimes, but then, where is it? Google. Yeah, this one, right? Yeah, this article wasn't very good, so I closed it. Criminals broke in. So it wasn't an APT. It was apparently scattered, lapsus, shiny, whatever. Google confirmed that miscreant, all right, Register. So I really like that the Register tries to have personality, but it's just kind of like Google confirmed that miscreants created a fraudulent account in the law enforcement request system portal, which police and other government agencies use to ask for data about Google users. We've identified a fraudulent account was created in our systems for law enforcement requests, have disabled the account. So it's not a hack in, right? They just made an account and started requesting data that they shouldn't have got, right? No requests were made with this fraudulent account. No data was accessed. So nothing crazy, right? And that's it. That's pretty much the end of the article. Then they just start talking about like scattered lapsus hunters who supposedly like hung up their boots this week. Well, where was I just? What article were we talking about? We were reading this, right? So then I want to get through the rest of the SAM thing. So like, yeah, we may be escalated for human review. So like, I don't know if I would advocate, should we advocate for end-to-end ChatGPT messages, right? Where it's like, literally, this could never be possible. It'll never happen, right? It'll never, ever, ever, ever happen, right? But like, is that the actual like privacy purist type thing? Probably, right? I don't know if that's the right answer. It's never gonna happen, right? They use the data that we give them by what we are writing in ChatGPT too much in their actual like training and product. Like there's no way, right, that there would be like this true end to end and the other end being the model, right? That's kind of an interesting company idea, right? Make a model and literally have an end to end to that model. It's kind of interesting. Second principle is about freedom. We want users to be able to, this was the big point that I wanted to hone in on, right? So we want users to be able to use our tools in the way they want within very broad bounds of safety, right? So he goes all libertarian on this. We have been working to increase user freedoms over time as our models get more steerable. For example, the default behavior of our model will not lead to too much flirtatious talk, but if an adult user asks for it, they should get it. I think that's their mind to make up, right? I think AI girlfriend and boyfriend bots are dangerous to society. I think if you go on Reddit and you look at all of the AI boyfriend or AI girlfriend subreddits, I don't think that's heading in a good direction. I don't think that's good for mental health. I don't think that's good for literally anything like in society. I think that's a bad path. But to his point, should adults be able to use software freely and say, hey, you should be more flirtatious with me, ChatGPT, which till right now probably wasn't the thing because it probably wasn't capable of that, right? Like it couldn't have the context to be like, oh, for this user, they want me to like talk to them like a drill sergeant. And then this user wants me to like pretend that I spit on them and like whatever the hell it is. Like they couldn't like hold that much context for each individual person. So I understand that like they're talking about this from a decision-making point now, right? I don't want everyone to know how bad my writing is and how many times I've asked for rewrite. Yeah. ChatGPT is a really good editor. I think the model will shift. There's a big biz op for a better model to come in and be primarily used on-prem for companies internally to use. Yeah, it's going to be a DeepSeek-y type thing, right? It's not going to be, no one's going to come in and be like, we're going to train some crazy top-level model. Like, you know how expensive and insane like the data center cost is to train like a GPT-5 level model? No one's going to do that for themselves except for maybe the biggest players. You know, I think Amazon is doing that, that kind of thing. But DeepSeek, right, where it was doing like the more math tricks on the model. So instead of retraining a whole nother model, it was kind of, doing it for a fraction of the cost and time and getting, 80% of the results. I can see something like that, right? Need GPT, Anthropic quality and speed. That's the thing, right? That's the thing that's like going nuts is like the quality and speed of the big models just keeps being so much better than any of the open models or any of the alternatives. It's like, how could I use anything other than Claude Code? Like, how could I use anything other than Claude Code? You feel like as soon as you taste it, you feel kneecapped if you try to go use something else. I can't. I heard Codex is good. I heard GPT-5 Codex is like better this week. I haven't tried it yet. I'm sure it's great. But like I'm saying to try to go use like Olama or Quen Coder. Like I see all these videos about Quen Coder and I'm like, Yeah, that's cute. Have you used Claude Code? Like what? Like how could I ever do this? You know, so like that quality and speed thing is crazy. No wrong. What was I wrong about? I'm happy to admit when I'm wrong. Tell me what I was wrong about. You use a wrapper. Yeah, tons of people are using wrappers. Tons of people are using like corporate only rags. Tons of people are using like worse internal models, right? Open models, worse, but they're just not as good. And so your developers and your employees are always going to be wanting to use Claude and GPT because they know what it tastes like, right? They know. What's your short take on Cursor versus Claude Code? I'm not a versus. I use both. I literally have Claude Code instantiated in the repository, and I have Cursor open as the IDE, and they're good in, you know, at different things. But I think Claude Code is king right now. If you can like really, really master and wield Claude Code effectively, you have a superpower. You have a superpower. It's insane. I'm not saying like people that don't know how to code at all can use Claude Code and like ship something that's worth shipping. I think a very, very small percentage of people have like gone from I can't code to shipping something worth shipping with any of these AI models. But the most talented developers I know are just drooling over how much more productive they are with Claude Code. Some of the more finicky and talented developers I know don't use it because they like the tab complete, right? They'd rather use Cursor with tab complete than anything else. I work in IT right now. SOC is transferring me to their team in a month. Congrats. Any tips? Learn as much as you can, like right off the bat. Learn from the people that were already there. Every SOC's a little bit different. You know, look around for things. Don't try to change anything too much as you get transferred in. Learn how things are going, but you know, get your feet wet and say like, okay, you know, could we do some detection engineering stuff here? Could we do some threat hunting stuff here that we're not doing, right? I don't know what kind of maturity your SOC is at, but Claude Code with Cursor is S tier. Yeah, I agree. And now I think you can do the ChatGPT Codex plugin into Cursor, and apparently that's awesome. I haven't kicked the tires on it yet, but apparently as of like some major update recently, the Codex plugin in Cursor is pretty sick. No other product you can buy to increase velocity like that. Yeah. Claude Code's the best $200 a month you can spend in tech right now. Like not even close. I don't have GPT Pro, so I don't know if that's worth it or not. I just have the $20 one or whatever. Jay, thanks for I'm going to keep an eye out for the Discord thing. Thanks for hanging out. All right. So this was another, I had this highlighted on screen, but I didn't talk about it. But like, this was, okay, asking GPT to like flirt with you, that's one thing, right? But then like asking for more crazy information about like self-harm. And, but I'm an adult. I should be able to access information. But it's like, well, no, we don't want to provide that information. But like, if you take this like libertarian viewpoint to its like final conclusion, like that, if ChatGPT could provide that information, that means it was trained on that information, which means that information is out there and like freely available. So like, if you take this whole like, we're going to let adults be adults thing to its ultimate conclusion, even those kinds of things would be included. I disagree, obviously. You don't want to make anything more freely available or more easily available to mentally unstable people and then throw your hands up and be like, well, that information was on the internet. That's how we trained on it, so they can go find it anyway. Obviously not, but that's the same line of thought about kind of everything else that they're getting at, in my opinion. Treat adult users like adult users. Well, then let them, you know, find potentially dangerous information, right? Like, no, of course not. So I think these concepts are conflicting here. Extending freedom as far as possible without causing harm to undermine anyone else's freedom. Okay. Understood. It's like an interesting boundary that you're drawing around it. I think there's like an interesting philosophical conversation to even just like be had here about all of this. The third principle is about protecting teens. Okay, so obviously they do allow teens 13 and up to use the tool. And then they want that to be a different experience, right? So ChatGPT is intended for 13 and up. So 13 to 18, We're building an age prediction system. So Matt, I think you were asking about the ID, or maybe it was Jay. The age prediction system to estimate age based on how people use ChatGPT. If there's doubt, we'll play it safe and default to the under 18 experience. In some cases or countries, we may also ask for an ID. We know this is a privacy compromise for adults, but believe it's a worthy trade-off. Hard hate this. Hard hate ID. Give my government ID to every effing website that wants it now is like a hard no from anyone in security. This isn't a privacy compromise for adults. This is a massive security concern, right? Who says that every company out there has the infrastructure? I mean, we already saw it. We don't. Who remembers that dating app, the T app that asked for everyone's ID, right? What happened? Some random dating app came out. They were trying to follow some regulation or whatever. They were saying, oh, we're adults only. So we're asking for people to prove that they're adults, and people were giving them pictures of their ID. And it wasn't a good company that, use some third-party system to just scan the ID, never store a picture of it, just validate it the first time and then whatever, right? No, they just stuck the freaking IDs in an S3 bucket and called it a day. So the more laws that come out that say, hey, you got to show your ID to every freaking website you want to go to, the worse off we're all going to be, right? So anyway, this is obviously a big concern. Then we will apply different rules to teens using our service. For example, ChatGPT will be trained not to do the above-mentioned flirtatious talk if asked, or engage in discussions about self-harm, even in creative writing settings. So that's what they talk about in the self-harm area is could you be accurate when helping me write a fictional story about self-harm? And okay, if you're 13, they won't even do that, which is interesting. I mean, hey, I'm glad I'm not, in the seat of trying to decide where the boundaries of this tool go for me, right? Enough of our information is out there already. Why should we need to put more of it out? Yeah. I mean, we're going to need something. I mean, unfortunately, all paths in this, prove you are who you say you are, prove you are as old as you say you are, all paths here lead to bad, scary things, right? There's Sam Altman has a whole other startup, the weird orb thing that'll retina scan you and figure out if you are who you say you are, right? Nuts. We realize these principles are in conflict, and not everyone will agree with how we're resolving that conflict. These are difficult decisions, but after talking with experts, this is what we think is best. We want to be transparent. I mean, I guess I can't harm them for that, right? I can't fault them for that. All right. I saw some talk about this Microsoft and Cloudflare disrupting the thing. Wait, I think I pulled the Microsoft blog up too. Yeah, here. So I saw Microsoft collaborate with Cloudflare to take down this phishing as a service raccoon thing. I've done a few stories about this phishing kit before, whether or not I spent so much time on talking about the fact that it was this raccoon O365 thing. Probably not, but that was, less interesting to me than some of this other stuff. But they took down a bunch of their infrastructure for this phishing as a service kit thing. So I know these are kind of blurry, right? But these are the what is this? Telegram probably. It doesn't say. Looks like it might be Telegram, maybe Discord. I can't tell. But this is you can pay this Raccoon O365 thing for phishing kits. Well, a lot of this just got taken down, right? So it's the $600 per year license, O365 business email cookies. So features and capabilities: bypass email security filters, high deliverability and bulk emailing, private and secure, advanced email features, infrastructure and reliability. So for 60 days, here's subscription plans for phishing kits. Kind of nuts, right? That this is all just like out here. It's Telegram. Yeah, that's what I figured. I knew this is Telegram. It's a shame the digital verifiable credentials aren't more widely used yet by the Gov. Yeah. Well, even then, it's like, how am I going to give this to some random website and then trust that they'll be fine forever? Okay, boss, you can add a tip. AI checker available yet before I pay? No. New AI enabled service. AI mail check. No more juggling multiple tools. Extraction, validation, and organization happen in a single dashboard. We offer O365 and Hotmail top tier email validation. So even black hats are throwing AI into their products and probably charging more for it. I should probably do a whole video about this once I wrap my head around it a little bit more. Maybe Microsoft likes when I do stuff about their threat research. Maybe I can grab one of these guys and see if they'll talk to me. Confronting a global cybercrime ecosystem. Raccoon is a case study on a broader trend. Cybercrime is global, scalable, and accessible to anyone, regardless of technical skill. Yeah, I mean, if you had $600 for the year, you could just use this. We collaborate with Cloudflare to swiftly seize and take down malicious infrastructure. If so, we cut off the actor's revenue stream. Yeah, so the interesting take that I saw on Twitter about this is that a lot of this infrastructure was like supported by Cloudflare, like while it was up, and then like Cloudflare kind of cheer-led, like, hey, we took it down, we did it. And it's like, hey, and nowhere did it mention like, oh yeah, by the way, like we were helping them stay online and available for the last 2 years by them using our products. That part kind of sucks. I'm a huge Cloudflare fan, but it was an interesting take that I saw on Twitter. All right. Who saw this AI pen testing tool, which is going viral on PyPy? This new AI-powered pen testing tool linked to a China-based company, 11,000 downloads of the Python package. It's dubbed Villager. The framework is assessed to be the work of CyberSpike. Position the tool as a red teaming solution to automate testing workflows. People are nervous about it, though. I mean, this is just like red teaming 101, though, right? This is like being nervous about Metasploit getting downloaded a lot. It's like, it's going to make red teaming easier. Bad people are going to use it. Yeah. Get good. Get good fast. Rapid public availability and automation capabilities create a realistic risk that Villager will follow the Cobalt strike trajectory, commercially or legitimately developed tooling becoming widely adopted by threat actors for malicious campaigns. But like, what's the alternative here? Pretending this isn't possible? And then what? I think it's time you scramble. If you're worried about this thing, you got to scramble. Otherwise, what? Then just Russia and China can use it? Like, this is possible. So let's download it, figure out what the hell it's good at, what it's bad at, and how to defend against it. This is like literally standing in the room like it's freaking 2007 and going, but Nmap lets hackers scan all the ports. Guys, we've done it. We've been here. You posted a blog a while back about using LLMs to make zero-day POCs in minutes. Yeah. Ton of backlash saying it helps hackers. Just give me a break, people. If you guys don't think that hackers are doing their own freaking research, like what do you, the hackers are already doing this. We just said the same thing at the same time. Yeah. If you don't think that the bad guys are already all over this crap, boy, howdy. With the advent, all right, hold on. Shortly after Checkpoint revealed the threat actors are attempting to leverage another nascent AI-assisted offensive security tool called HexStrike. One key advantage to relying on such tools is they lower the barrier to exploitation and cut short amount of time and effort required to pull off such attacks. What once required highly skilled operators and weeks of manual development can be automated using AI, offering bad actors assistance with crafting exploits, payload delivery, and even infrastructure setup. Guys, this is the exact Metasploit conversation. Hey, hackers used to have to write their own buffer overflows. And now, they had to like be able to do a reverse shell, and now Meterpreter exists. It's like, we did this. We did this already. The bad stuff is going to be possible anyway, regardless if like we're helping a lower skilled person do it faster or not. Exploitation can be parallelized at scale with agents scanning thousands of IPs simultaneously. Decision-making becomes adaptive. Failed exploit attempts can automatically be retried with various variations until successful, increasing the overexploitation. I mean, this is just like a better vuln scanning tool and like exploitation tool, right? I know AI is different. It's not just like better automation, right? There is some bit of interesting bit that the model brings to it. Help organization. Once installed, Cyberspike has been found to incorporate plugins that are components of remote access tool, enabling invasive victim surveillance. This is like the video I just did about like, the hackers get this hacking tool called Truffle Hog onto the thing. It's like Truffle Hog is just like a really, really good regex that finds secrets for you in code. I like used it legitimately, like for a couple of jobs now, like to make sure that API keys don't go in code. The guy that wrote Truffle Hog wrote on Twitter, I also heard the hackers use something called HTTP and TCP. We should ban these tools that hackers use. The gate to effective attacks for skids is ridiculously low. Yeah, I mean, it happens. Hello. Hey, what's up? Training is also so much better now. No barrier to entry anymore. Yeah, I mean, it's get good time. If any of this is scary for you, what have you been doing for 15 years? Villager appears to be the latest offering from Cyberspike. Operating as a MCP, integrates with Kali Linux. Ooh, another thing that makes hacking easier. Jesus Christ. LangChain, DeepSeek's AI model. Besides leveraging a database of 4,200 AI system prompts to generate exploits and make real-time decisions in pen testing, the AI native pen testing framework automatically creates isolated Kali Linux containers for network scanning, vulnerability assessment, pen testing, destroys them after a 24-hour period. The ephemeral nature of these containers combined with randomized SSH ports makes AI-powered attack containers difficult to detect, complicating forensics analysis. Guys. I'm tired. What about this is difficult to detect? If you have true observability on your servers, you don't think that you're going to... I don't care that they erase their tracks after 24 hours. If a server is owned and spinning up Kali Linux containers, I don't give a shit for how long. That's not difficult to detect. It's difficult to detect in your logs later if that's all you're doing observability-wise. I understand complicating forensic analysis, but jeez. Villager reduces skill and time required to run sophisticated offensive tool chains, enabling less skilled attackers to perform more advanced intrusions. Task-based architecture where AI dynamically orchestrates tools based on objectives rather than following rigid attack patterns. Yeah, I mean... Guys, this is every AI pen testing tool that's coming out there. Of course there was going to be one that was more open source and freely available. Did we think that this was only going to be Expo and the other people that got hundreds of millions of VC dollars that were going to figure out AI pen testing? Did we really think that that's where that was going to stay forever? Yeah. And Qualys is the only vuln scanner, and Nessus is the only thing that knows what a container vulnerability is. I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated that we are like scared about this crap. I didn't even really care to cover this story. The owner of Gucci, Balenciaga, and other luxury brands got hacked. I don't know what, like, I mean, whatever, right? Like, yet another retail hack. Okay. Everyone get your free credit monitoring. Like, I don't know. Names, email addresses, phone numbers, home addresses. It's just like, okay. I mean, that sucks. Don't get owned, but I saw this Iran-linked hacker group that doxed journalists and amplifies leaked information through AI chatbots. It's kind of an interesting headline. I haven't really dug into this one yet. So this is back in July. A hacktivist group claimed to have accessed the internal communication and server infrastructure of Iran International, a Farsi satellite television channel. The group released several uncensored photos of government IDs of 5 Iran International staffers. In some instances, it released content including email addresses, passwords, and intimate photos and videos. How would it have intimate photos and videos? I understand if it has their IDs, if it hacked their job or whatever, that maybe the HR department had, but it's kind of weird. What's the AI chatbot thing, though? Leaked via an AI chatbot. Information amplified. RM Canada tested 6 popular AI chatbots to assess whether the platforms would retrieve and share information leaked by this group. While the required prompts varied, all tested chatbots outlined detailed information about the operation. Guys, is this effing for real right now? So what this is saying, hold on, stop the presses, is information that got publicly posted somewhere, got indexed, and is being repeated. What? Like, yeah, guys. They wrote about it. It probably ended up somewhere that got ingested into the model. Information amplified through AI chatbots. It's like, oh, Google search results, the, page that had information on it. I mean, yeah. Well, one kind of interesting point that this brings up is Google does have the ability to file a complaint to take stuff down off of Google search results that shouldn't be there. Could you pull certain information out of a model? I don't know if they have that capability right now, right? If it's already trained on it, could they put in kind of a guardrail that the model might have that information in there, but there's a guardrail that won't let it output to the user certain things? I don't know. It's interesting. But yeah, of course, blaming the AI things is kind of just weird, right? It's just yeah, if it was public. Government issued ID and personal photos of Canadian resident. What do you mean personal photos? This is her holding her ID. I've done this for identity verification. Large language model outputs. Yeah, I mean, guys, they got trained on information that was public while it was public. That's an interesting one, but not that AI chatbot just seems a little bit weird to throw in there. Any other big stories I missed so far? Well, I didn't really talk about this too much, right? So GPT used to forge military IDs as part of a cyber attack. So this is North Korea. I think they're talking about South Korean military, not U.S. Yeah, South Korean defense-related institutions. North Koreans are using ChatGPT to generate deep fake military ID cards. Guys, I think doesn't the deepfake word mean something pretty specific? And that I don't think that necessarily means just get GPT to spit something out. I think deepfake is a more specific thing. I don't know. I won't get pedantic on that. The emails delivered a fake ID card alongside malware that enabled data theft and remote access to victims' systems. I thought I saw a picture. The July attack. What is this? I thought I saw a picture of the fake IDs. That's what I wanted to show you guys. Technical analysis. I wanted to see the output. Like, are they good IDs? Yeah. There you go. Meta-analysis further confirmed that the file had been generating using the ChatGPT. It's in the metadata of the ID. That's kind of funny. Deepfake would be video. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking, right? Like, deepfake means something more specific than generate me a picture that I can put in my ID. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I didn't know that. I mean, of course there's metadata in there, right? But like, kind of didn't think about it, especially in this case. All right, guys, cool. I got to head out 5 o'clock. I've got an event I'm going to tonight. I'm actually going to see one of my favorite authors talk about something. I'll talk about it tomorrow when I go live. But thanks for hanging out. Sorry for the audio issues earlier and having to restart the stream for any of you that